you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest gas?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Vliet.
What's up, Brian Deegan here.
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Racer, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Rigid Industries, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride, Ami Houde.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Ami Houde, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And we got a special show today for you. Not only is it our last live show of 2015, we are capping off 2015 in a big way. It's always a special show when you got my good friend Robby Gordon calling in. That's right, the man, the myth, the legend, Robby Gordon. Rocket Robbie, as he's known, is going to be calling in here in just a few minutes. We're kicking the show off with Robby today. Going to be talking Dakar 2016. Lots of rumors swirling around that program about a possible second Gordini. We're going to get to the bottom of things. We are going to get all the information we can possibly get out of Robby that he wants to give. We are going to get it today, so it's going to be a great interview, kicking things off here in just a few minutes. And then kicking off hour number 2, good friend of mine, guy that I went up to Dirtfish Rally School with. We talked about him a little bit last week on air, winning his very first ever Rally America event, went up there and ran in a regional in Minnesota, took that victory. Also a Snocross racer, also a Terracross racer. One of the young guns in motorsports, action motorsports. He kind of does it all. It's going to be a great interview with a good friend of mine, Cole Cottew, one of those up-and-comers, and I guarantee in the next couple of years you're going to hear a whole lot more about Cole and all these different series he's driving and racing in, but going to be great to catch up with him as well. Then Ami Houde, she's calling in to cap off the show, and we're going to be talking 2016 Supercross. 30 minutes dedicated to talking 2016 Supercross rumors, flying around just about anything and everything. We're going to try and get to the bottom of it, do a little bench racing, and get you really amped up for the kickoff here in, I believe it's like 26 days maybe. So getting really close to that Supercross opener. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And then if we have enough time, we're going to have a 2015 recap. All the major series that we cover: Global Rallycross, World Rallycross, Rally America, WRC, Score, Best in the Desert, Lucas, Torque, Terracross, you name it. We are going to recap everything and kind of preview what's to come in 2016. So a lot of stuff slammed into today's show. 2 guests. Robby Gordon, we're a couple weeks out from Dakar. We all know that, literally the off-road community, the American motorsports community. Robby is kind of been the lone wolf down there in Dakar for quite some time, and doing battle with the manufacturers. They call him the American Rebel. It's going to be great to catch up with Robby and find out just everything that goes into that program. I know a couple years ago, I had the opportunity, I believe it was last summer, a year ago last summer, to go out and test the Gordini with Robby. He didn't let me drive, but that was totally fine. It was just amazing sitting in that right-hand navigator seat, and get a feel for what these Dakar vehicles are. And, a lot of people want to compare them to trophy trucks, and I got to tell you, it's an apples to oranges comparison. We were going through some stuff in the Gordini. No chance a trophy truck could even attempt to get through the stuff we were going through in the Gordini. And on the flip side, you get into the deep whoops and things, and Gordini, maybe a little bit behind the 8 ball, in comparison to a trophy truck. But, racing in South America, Dakar, something totally different. I know this year Dakar Rally is going to be a bit different than years past with some of the terrain that the drivers have in store. It looks like the track layout or the course layout is a little bit different. I'm sure logistics are going to come into play, but that route, it's a little bit faster. So we're going to talk with Robby, see how the Gordinis are going to match up against the competition. Obviously, we've got the minis, we've got the new Peugeot team, big news, Sebastian Loeb coming to race Dakar. I mean, I would, I've got a short list of the most talented all-around drivers in the world. Obviously, Robby Gordon is on that list, but I definitely Sebastian Loeb. He's got to be on that list as well. A guy that can jump in anything, whether it be touring cars, WRC. I know he's tested Formula One cars before. I went over and did a Rallycross event, X Games, and one off and goes in, spanks everybody, and takes home the gold for X Games. Sebastian. We know about Pikes Peak. He goes up Pikes Peak, just shatters the record. So we've got Sebastian jumping into Dakar, and one of the most talented drivers in the world. But how's he going to fare? This isn't a short sprint. I mean, we're talking car management. 2 weeks worth. Is he going to be able to hack it? Is he going to tear stuff up in the first couple of days and have nothing left? I don't know. That's to be seen, but definitely one of the huge storylines going into this year. And, and Robby, obviously, the Gordini, we got a couple of years under it now. It was a new build that, got rid of the Hummers that he'd used, something totally different, totally out of the box. Got a couple of years of R&D. I know he's perfected the design. And hopefully we got things sorted this year. But we'll find out what he did this off season. I guess off season. His off season is when he does all his other racing. But in between Dakar rallies, what he did to the Gordini to get the bugs worked out. The thing has been lightning quick. We know he can run up front with this vehicle, but it seems like just little bitty things past year or two have taken him out. Just stupid issues. And Robby will probably be the first to tell you that. And it's not prep or anything. It's just things happen at Dakar. I mean, the elements down there, the heat, obviously it's wintertime up here, South America, it's summertime, but the elevation changes. I mean, running from sea level all the way up to, I think 10,000 feet at times. I mean, just the elevation changes, and, it can be hot. Fighting vapor lock issues. You get up into the mountains and it can be cold up there. And, not only that, but it gets so hot, unlike desert racers, these guys in Dakar, they're on air conditioners in their car. So, it's, keeping your body in shape and, prior to the event, but keeping yourself hydrated, and the air conditioning system goes out. I mean, gosh, there's so many different things. Tire inflation, and being able to deflate the tires when you get into the soft sand, and we know there's dunes and everything else at Dakar. There's so much that goes into one of these programs. I mean, so the logistics behind it. The haulers, that these guys have. You see the big trucks that race in the event, but the support trucks and the crew and the team, and making sure that their travel's good and they don't have any problems. I mean, because they're doing a lot of miles as well. So there's wear and tear on not only the race vehicles, but the support vehicles as well. And Dakar is just, I don't know, it's maddening. Just the logistics behind it. And, and like they've always said, to be successful at Dakar, it's not something you do in 1 year. It's a multi-year project. I mean, as a driver, they say you shouldn't even race your first year. You should just go to Dakar, see how it runs, how things operate. And once that's done, once that's figured out, then you go back the next year and you enter, but you don't plan on winning the first year. You plan on just going and and figuring things out further, and then finally the third year you kind of get yourself where you're competitive. But it's a multi-year process. It's not one that you just jump into and are successful right away. And and I think we're going to see that with Peugeot. Obviously these cars are amazing. They've got an unlimited budget. They've got some of the best drivers in the world in Sebastian Loeb piloting these things, but I think they're in store for some troubles, some teething issues. I mean, I could be wrong. They could go out and spank everybody and take the overall. I just don't know. But that's that's kind of my feelings on things. So we'll definitely have to see how things line up. And what what's to come? I don't know. Dakar, it's kicks off the year, and to me, January is so awesome. I mean, you've got Dakar, this 2-week long event. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, over the course of weeks, we cover this on the radio show. Normally, we hype up an event, and we talk about it, and then the next week it's done and over, and we, maybe talk about some results. Dakar, I mean, here we are in December. We're hyping it up, talking about it. We're going to come back after the first of the year. We're going to be already started. We're going to be talking about, how things are going. The next week we're going to go on air and we're still going to be talking about it, and the event's not going to be over yet. And then finally we're going to come on air, 3 weeks later, and then we'll finally be able to talk about, who won and the finishers. I mean, it's just crazy. I know, guys that are going down there to cover it, our friends from Race Desert. I mean, they had to ship their support trucks out, I think, back in October. To get down there to South America, that they're going to use to drive and cover this event, and they don't get the trucks back until after the Mint 400 in March. So there's literally it takes a huge portion of the year to make this work right. It's pretty crazy. Just getting a note right now. I know Robby's awful busy. They've got some big announcements they're going to be making today. But sounds like Robby is still in meetings, so he's going to be a little late to the call in. We do know that he will be calling in today, so we're planning on kicking him off right at 9:05. But sounds like he's in a few meetings. So we'll definitely get to Robby in this first hour, though. Guaranteed, we're going to get to Robby at some point, but still in meetings, and sometimes those things tend to run over. So no worries there at all. But kind of getting into to some of the recaps we talked about we were going to do. I guess we'll just jump into those and kind of skip back when Robby decides to call in and has a chance. We'll definitely bounce back to those. But I guess kicking things off first, I mean, we'll talk a little bit of Rallycross. I mean, Rallycross just is really the past 4 or 5 years exploded in this country and not only the world. I mean, we've got World Rallycross. We have, not only World Rallycross, but we've got Global Rallycross here in the United States. Both of them, I mean, huge series, huge followings, some amazing drivers. And, it's been awesome to been a part, for me to be a part of Global Rallycross, over the past, I don't know, I've worked with the series for 2 years. Obviously I didn't this year, but on and off as an announcer, did some Rally America Live Radio. But before that, I'd been to some of the events in Vegas, just to see the growth of that series. And now you've got, the super teams coming in. You've got Andretti, you've got Ganassi, manufacturers involved. I mean, Volkswagen, Subaru, Ford. I've heard little rumors of possibly Honda and Toyota stepping in. I've heard more IndyCar teams are interested in, jumping into the series and coming over. I mean, the demographics, you can't get it anywhere else. It truly is just a generation now motorsport. You've got NASCAR and NHRA fighting for ratings, and here is Global Rallycross with some amazing ratings, and and not to short Stadium Super Trucks, because we'll get to them in this 2015 recap as well. It's just they've captured what gets this generation. It's short, it's action-packed. You don't have to be there for a long time in front of the television set. It's an hour. Wham, bam, action-packed, bumping, banging, jumping, big-name athletes. It's got everything, and that's what fans want to see. That being said, man, this year it was a heck of a shootout. It was I don't know. I mean, you had Ken Block, jump out to an early lead, and for the longest time, I thought Ken had it in the bag. And then, and then all of a sudden he, mid-season, some things started happening around the doubleheaders. Scott Speed, who we hadn't seen since, he took a victory at X Games, but past that, hadn't really heard much about him. And, and then all of a sudden Scott, takes double wins there at one of the doubleheaders, and boom, he's back in the hunt. And comes back. I mean, Volkswagen Andretti, 2 years in the series, they definitely have put their stamp on things. Hey, we're here to play, and we're here to battle with the best. So, it's going to be interesting moving forward. I mean, Ford, they've got all these manufacturers championships. They've got drivers championships. But we've seen now that Volkswagen is every bit the equal of the Ford teams, and that's what the series needed. Subaru obviously last year was very successful, taking wins. Kind of struggled a bit this year. New platform, new car, but I'm sure they'll be back I'm sure they'll be back, and with a new car and development over the off season, and I think next year we could have 3 manufacturers capable of winning championships, and especially if you get Honda and Toyota involved at some point eventually. I think it even expands it out to possibly 4 or 5 manufacturers. So definitely good things coming for global rallycross. And then on the World Rallycross side, I mean, the same thing. I mean, we've got manufacturers over there, Citroen. You've got Ford. You've got Volkswagen. You've got them all over there as well. And they don't really venture to this side of the pond other than their Canadian round, but they've got some amazing things going over there. The talent coming out of Europe. I mean, you've got Petter Solberg, who now has taken back-to-back championships, and he's one of the, I guess one of the better rallycross drivers or rally drivers in history. Got a WRC championship. Now he's doing the rallycross thing, and he's been highly successful. But I mean, like guys like Backerud and Teamer and. It's so deep, the talent pool in Europe, just like it is here in the States. These kids, grow up and doing folk racing and come up through the ranks, and that's all they do is rally, and now 18, 19 years old, these kids are just amazing. Got to throw Toppy in there as well. He's won a GRC championship, and now he's playing over in Europe, and I think Toppy's a guy. Eventually we could possibly see him back in the United States as well again. It's great that we have these series where drivers can kind of bounce back and forth between the two. But WRX, I mean, it's been, tremendously successul. They run 1 round in South America, 1 up in Canada, the rest of them pretty much in Europe. But I'm definitely looking forward to, the future of that series as well. And, I love, Global Rallycross and the fact it's U.S.-based. I personally would love to see an RX round at some point, come stateside. Obviously, we've got the one in Troy River in Canada. I would love to see them run one somewhere in the U.S. I don't think they're going to steal any fans away from Red Bull GRC, but it would be nice for fans to be exposed to that series as well. I mean, they are on TV here in the States, but some backwoods channel, I have no idea even how to watch it. I don't know. I watched the live stream, and it's one of those 796, channel 796 on DirecTV, and you got to have the platinum package with the elite level sports package or whatever. I mean, I don't know, about 5 households in the country have it, I think. Seriously, it's that tough to find. But anyways, I love what RX is doing as well as GRC. I don't know, recapping. Had some fans, want to know, over the past couple of weeks, who do you think Rallycross Driver of the Year? It's kind of a fun deal. I mean, obviously in RX, you got Petter Solberg, 3 wins, championship. He's your guy. GRC, you got Scott Speed, 2 wins, championship. He's your guy. If I had to pick one out of the 2, be overall Rallycross Driver of the Year, man, I got to go with Petter. I know you GRC loyalists are going to roll your eyes at that, but Petter, Petter Solberg, just it was a great year for him. I mean, just no doubt, a tremendous year for Petter. And I got to roll with Petter. He pretty much grabbed the championship from the start and never really lost touch the whole year. Scott Speed, it was touch and go for a while. I think Petter was just a little bit more dominant this year. Obviously, he had 1 more win than Scott, but his dominance level was just a little bit more. That being said, I'd love to see Petter come to GRC at some point. Don't know that it's going to happen. I think he's pretty happy staying in Europe, but would be fun. So there you go. I got to roll with Petter Solberg. Petter Solberg on that one. Then we got to jump over and talk some stage rally now that we've talked Rallycross, And I don't know. I mean, Rally America, that's easy. Recap, I mean, this was the year of David Higgins in Rally America. I don't think anybody's going to doubt that. You know, and WRC, it was the year of Sebastian Ogier. You know, Sebastian just dominant over there in WRC. I mean, I've seen flashes of Sebastian Lowe brilliance. You know, I think he's that good. You know, it just a truly remarkable year for him in WRC, and the same for Higgins. I mean, undefeated, first time a guy's gone undefeated since John Buffum. You know, what was it, back in the early 80s? I mean, Buffum, you know, now he works with Subaru Rally Team USA as a kind of a consultant and an advisor. But David Higgins, I mean, him and Craig Drew, dominating year. You know, 8 for 8. And honestly, it was very, I mean, we're talking a small handful of stages he lost, I think. I mean, we're talking very, very minute. Like, you can count on one hand. I'm trying to think, you know, I mean, how many? I can really think of 2 off the top of my head, I think. And they were just barely, you know, and he'd had some problems. I mean, we're talking very few stages that Higgins lost all year. Dominating effort. And I think really what put the stamp on this year was New England Forest Rally. I mean, you know, Adam Yeoman had some tremendous efforts against David, you know, this year. Independent team getting faster and faster. But really, the stamp was NEFR for me. You know, we've heard about, you know, this is when everybody brought their guns out. You know, we are going to knock this perfect season away from Higgins. We are going to bring our A game, right? So you got Block showing up and in his contingent. And obviously, I'll give Block credit. His car's a few years old now. I mean, this Subaru is dialed in, this new Subaru. But, you know, it's still a very fast car, Block. So, you know, obviously, David Higgins was there. Pastrana, who is... you know, was just ridiculously fast all year, you know, when he showed up, but not quite at Higgins' level. I think, you know, the rust is definitely coming off very fast, and I think the rallies we're going to see Pastrana run next year are going to be, he's going to be even faster, and that gap's going to narrow even more. You know, keep in mind, Pastrana was out of the car for a while. And then we had Ramana with the R5 from Europe, the M Sport, coming over, you know, teaming up with Block and, you know, running that R5. You know, against these other 3, and, you know, it literally was a shootout. We had 5 open class cars that were very, very solid when you throw, you know, Yeoman in the mix. And Higgins, you know, was that very first stage. I think everybody's like, man, we're going to lay the gauntlet down and this and that. And Higgins, he literally, everybody's bringing their A game, and Higgins brought his A-plus game. Boom, stamped it. You know, and I think the perfect season was stamped there in stage 1 at New England Forest Rally when Higgins took that. You know, I think all these other guys just went, wow, eye-opener. So, you know, I got to tell you, if I had to pick a stage rally driver of the year, I can't do it. Higgins and Ogier, you know, both basically had amazing seasons. It's got to be a draw there. I can't do it. Both of them in there, you know, obviously Higgins had a perfect season. You know, went over to Europe and did well. You know, in the class he competed in there, but in WRC UK. But Sebastian, I mean, just the level of competition he faces all year long is such an elite level that you can't expect a perfect season. I just got to say a draw there. That's all there is to it. I'm calling draw. So we've been through Rallycross, stage rally, and we're going to take a short commercial break, and Robby Gordon will be calling in sometime. And we got, you know, we also have Formula Drift. We got some short course, some desert racing, a whole lot more coming up here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Hour number 1. We'll be back after this.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When RJ Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound of the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com.
Get on and go. Go where the jackpots flow like the mighty Colorado River. And go for free. Blue Water Resort and Casino now offers free bus transportation from the Lake Havasu City area. Just hop on and we'll do the driving. And convenient, 3 pickup times on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pickup points are Bash's South Side on Maricopa and the London Bridge Swap Meet parking lot. Seating limited to the first 28 passengers per bus. First come, first serve. Call 888-243-3360. That's 888-243-3360. Or visit BlueWaterFun.com.
Baja, check. King of the Hammers, check. Crandon, check. The Mint 400, check. Only one wheel company can say they have dominated the deserts and rocks of the Southwest to the mud and carnage of the big house at Crandon, and that company is KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels has won them all with the help of elite drivers like Travis Pastrana, Ricky Johnson, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Lauren Healy, who all rely on the XD Series from KMC Wheels to get them to the finish line and on top of the podium. Check out KMC Wheels and their full line of XD Series wheels at KMCWheels.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels, like no other. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm your host, Jim Beaver, just kind of recapping 2015 and, kind of kind of, reliving some of the action, previewing 2016. Hopefully in the next 30 minutes. I know Robby Gordon just got another message. He's kind of caught in some sponsor meetings at the moment, but, should hopefully in the next 30 minutes have him, on air to give us a quick shout and kind of bring us into, what's happening with the Dakar program in 2016. But kind of recapping with 2015 as we have been. Going to kind of keep rolling on to some Formula Drift. Still got some short course and desert coming up next. But FD, man, you want to talk about wild year. Frederick Osbo. You want to talk about putting a stamp on a year. Frederick Osbo definitely did that in 2015. Took home the Formula Drift Championship, U.S. Championship, the Formula Drift World Championship. Just absolute putting a stamp on the season. Multiple victories. The guy was just he was just on it. I don't know. He's always the end of last year he really got some momentum going, and he carried that through the off season. Showed up in Long Beach and just proceeded to destroy competition all year long. That's the easiest way to put it. Tremendous effort by him. But he passed Osbo, because he won pretty much everything. You got to give a shout out to a couple of guys. I mean, one, Ken Gucci, a guy that we really hadn't heard a lot about. I mean, he's one of those name drivers. He's been around for a long time. But he's one of those guys that he kind of fell off the radar. I don't want to say he fell off the radar. People are still aware of him, but he just I don't know. He just hadn't done a lot in a few years, and bam, all of a sudden, he comes in and he was on point this year and made a significant push. Towards a championship. So, you got to give a lot of credit to Gucci, who, we've seen, back now. Hopefully he can carry that momentum from 2015 into 2016. The other guy, he's been around FD since the beginning. Good friend of mine, Ryan Turk. And Turk was another guy. He switched chassis or platforms. I guess a couple years ago. He's just been having some struggles, and getting knocked out in the early rounds the past couple of years, and comes into 2015. I think did we have him on at the beginning of the year, and he was talking, and I don't know if it was on air or off air, but he was excited about 2015 and. He thought he had something this year, and boy, did he ever. I mean, Ryan Turk, this is the Turk that everybody wanted to see. I mean, he obviously he's one of the fan favorites. You go to FD and, and some of the OGs, I mean, Forsberg, Vaughn, Turk, I mean, these guys are the crowd favorites, right? And, Ryan Turk's got an amazing video series with Network A. Just a professional fun haver, man. He has a lot of fun. Good friends with Ken Block. He went over to Gymkhana Grid over in Europe and drove Block's vintage Escort that he just built. He just has a ton of fun. Just a cool guy to be around. I've had the opportunity to actually drift with the guy before. At SEMA last year, got to jump in a Mustang and do some drift demos with Turk, and the car control is just out of control that not only Turk has, but all the FD guys. But to be able to ride around in that Mustang, I mean, it was a pretty tremendous feeling, and just see the concrete barriers, how close these cars are really getting, and literally they can set them up and slide them and put them within inches of really where they want it. It's pretty remarkable. But Turk making a big push in 2015. It was great to see him back. Took a victory. He's a guy the fans have been pulling for a long time. And, and I gotta say, I mean, he's got to be very, very happy with how he finished in the championship. And, obviously everybody wants to win the championship, but, heading into 2016, a guy like that, it's good for the sport. He's been an original. He's still there. He's still pushing. He's back better than ever. And, and there you go. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. A couple of the other originals, Vaughn Gittin Jr., he's had some struggles, and then obviously, finding himself with a completely destroyed car before, the final event at the House of Drift and there in Irwindale definitely had to hurt. I know he was there signing autographs and stuff like that, but, with Vaughn being knocked out, it was a year that Vaughn would probably rather forget, not one of his best years, but, good news is he's back in 2016. All new car in 2016, the all new Mustang. Vaughn been developing that for well over a year now. It's going to have an all new weapon to bring to battle. So looking forward to 2016 and what Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s got. See how that new Mustang platform works for him. Big change up, independent rear suspension instead of live axle. It's just a completely new car. Power plant changed a bit. It's definitely going to be an interesting 2016. And then, another OG, we haven't talked about yet. We got Chris Forsberg. Chris Forsberg is, I don't know. I mean, he's tremendous. He is awesome. And, it's funny. We're in the middle of this thing, and I'm getting a call from, I'm getting a text from Ronnie Renner right now, and you know what? I'm going to call Ronnie Renner. It's funny. We're kind of waiting on Robby Gordon. I'm going to put Ronnie Renner on the spot right now, and we're gonna have a little fun with this show today. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get Renner to pick up. We're gonna play some games here. That is definitely what we're gonna do. We're in the middle of this and waiting on Robby Gordon, and we are calling Ronnie Renner, and we're gonna have a little fun with this. So here we go. We'll see if we can get Renner on air. We are dialing. See if Renner picks up.
Hello.
Hey, Renner, this is Jim Beaver. You're live on the show, buddy. You text me, and I go, well, forget this recording. We're live on air, so I'm going to call Renner.
I hope you didn't have somebody like Pastrana or somebody really important on. You block past them.
No, Robby Gordon might be calling in a few minutes, but we'll have some fun with it anyways, man.
I'll just throw myself in the mix with those guys. No big deal.
No, how's everything?
What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing, man. Just kind of recapping 2015, and you've had a heck of a fun 2015, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what I get myself into. Too much, number one, but definitely some good stuff, man. I didn't plan on some of the things happening that happened, but I guess that's when they're the most rewarding, when it just kind of pops up in your face.
Yeah, well, I know you've been all over the place. I mean, talk about, some of these projects you got going. I know you're doing a lot of filming. You took home, X Games Gold for your film piece. Obviously another step up, but you're doing a lot of stuff with Polaris Razor as well.
Yeah, man. I'm actually sitting out here at Ocotillo Wells on top of the highest hill I could find to climb my truck in right now, just overlooking everything, kind of taking it in. It's one of those windy days, and I was just thinking about that. Like the Real Moto thing was cool. I didn't have an invite originally, and was kind of bummed about it. And then somebody pulled out, and I had this next spot, and I'm like, dude, I really want to put all my effort into that. And I guess it worked out well because I won. But you're only as good as your last video or edit, and I know you're reflecting, but I'm already looking forward to the next stuff. And hopefully there's another Real Moto for Moto, but I'm also psyched about doing things really similar in my Razors.
Yeah, I know. Just watching your stuff, man. You've kind of brought your own unique flavor to the Razor brand. It's been pretty cool to watch. Kind of infuse some moto into it and some of the free ride stuff. And for me, it's been pretty fun to watch some of the stuff you drop.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm still working on my kill all dirt edit. It's taking a little longer. I'm one of those guys. It's like, not coming soon, but just not happy with it. I'm kind of learning a lot with the four-wheel stuff and learning how to prepare for trips better and realizing you get flat tires and crazy things happen that aren't quite as easy as changing the tire on a dirt bike or whatever. So, I guess it's a part of the learning process.
Yeah.
But it'll come out soon. And, that's exactly what I want to do, is bring my own flavor to the game. And Polaris has been great. The Razors are fun, and I think anybody coming from two-wheel and the excitement that, I guess Supercross and free riding and freestyle's got, backflips and all that crazy crap. I thought it would be a little bit harder to get psyched on, I guess theoretically going a little slower or not jumping as high, but 3 feet in the air feels about like 20 feet in the air to me on a dirt bike. So it's, it's a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I know you've heard some rumors. I know you've been out playing around with an SR1 at some of the Lucas Regionals. Are we going to see you possibly doing some Terracross too, I heard?
Yeah, this year I was wanting to do Terracross, and the dates just weren't working out. I was part of the Red Bull X Fighters tour, and, for whatever reasons, I just couldn't get the dates to set in. So, yeah, the SR1 thing's true. I'm trying to really get in and find a way to fund that series this year. I'd like to get up there on that podium. I think that's one of the most competitive classes going. And then Terracross is its own animal. I saw the footage this year, and I'm obviously kicking myself in the butt for not making it happen. But there's always this year coming, man. I hope I can get in there.
Yeah, it's, I had a lot of fun with it. Did I think 3 of the rounds this year. And it was a ton of fun. For me, it's, learning experience. I'm a desert guy, used to, whoops and stuff like that, and this Supercross style airing stuff out. I mean, I wadded it up pretty good at San Diego, but we figured it out by the end of the year. But, yeah, it's definitely something unique, man. But I saw
that footage.
Yeah, dude, it was
I was wondering if you were going to call that one out. I was like, you might have helped take the wind out of my sails a little bit. I'm like, oh, that stuff's real, man. It might be a technical little arena, but you can still wad it up pretty good.
Yeah. Well, everybody's like, I told everybody, I'm like, shoot, I did it, I guess that was my second. I did a demo in Crested View, but I wadded it up, and I claimed it and said, hey, man, I've had the worst crash you can possibly have in a Razor, so anything after this it's not as bad. I walked away from the worst crash you can have, so what's there to be worried about?
Yeah, that's going to happen if you're trying to get up there in the front, right?
Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about freestyle motocross. I know you're still you calling the X game or X Fighter stuff, and and traveling around, man. I got to tell you, the level of competition that we've seen in X Fighters is it's nutty, man.
Oh, dude, I get blown away every time I go, and it's unfortunate they're actually slowing the season down next year and only going to really do one big event in Madrid. Personally, I'm going to survive. I've been putting my eggs in other baskets anyways, but watching the sport evolve and progress the way it has, and then it just not have a home, it's going to be a bummer. I mean, there might be some X Games stuff, but, it's not a every weekend thing, not even quarterly thing. It's like a couple big ones, and that's it. So to watch Pages and Josh Sheehan and Clinton Moore, who just won the series, like these guys really throwing down every week, not have a place to do their thing at a high level, it's kind of a bummer, because those guys, in particular, just put the risk to reward ratio out the window. They don't give a crap. They do it because they love it. They send it. It's a great show for the fans, but like anything, they do it right. It's a big production, and I'm not trying to buzzkill it. It's just really just kind of sad to see.
Yeah. I know, even talking with, I was talking with Ronnie Feist, he did Terracross, and we were talking, and he's like, I'm so glad I'm not competing in freestyle, motocross anymore. He's like, I'm glad I had my window, and it was back when things weren't as out of hand as it is now. He's like, because I have no ambition to do the crap these guys are doing now.
Yeah, Feist had those 360 crashes back in the day and all that. He had his time where he was pioneering and sending it and, getting himself into some pickles, but he's right there in the same boat as me. We're around the same age. I think we're a week apart in age, actually. So
really? We've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and
we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the old, with age comes the roll cage philosophy, and we've got the Unfortunately, I think for both of us, even though, I think we've done all right in our careers, we're already digging into our retirement funds, trying to fund this stuff. It's that learning lesson that I've already learned. If you want to become a millionaire off-road racer, start with $10 million.
Yeah.
But damn it, it's fun.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. It gets its hooks in you, and then all common sense kind of goes out the window.
Yeah, I never had any of that anyways. The thing about common sense, right?
What's that?
It's not that common.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely my case as well, I'm sure. So what I got to ask you, this just dropped last week. I haven't even had a chance to talk to anybody about it. You heard anything on this new this Nitro Circus games they're going to have up there in Salt Lake? Sounds like they're bringing back like Best Trick and setting it up so guys can literally, break some records. Sounds like it's kind of just the opposite of what X Games has done.
Oh, dude, I got to pick the mastermind's brain straight away. Like I happened to go to this Red Bull holiday party last week in Miami, and Travis was there and kind of gave me the whole lowdown. He's like, "No, man, it's the real deal." He's totally psyching into it. And I think if Travis is into anything and he's got his heart into it, it's going to be awesome. So the layout, the format, everything he's got planned up should be nothing short of spectacular. The dude knows how to put on the show, and he knows how to motivate people to get after it. So kind of scary, but I wouldn't say my cup of tea. I'll be there watching or trying to judge or do TV on the floor or something, but definitely want to be involved. It's something that's going to keep the sport flying, maybe flying a little higher than I like to see it go, but that's the nature of the beast, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's I'm looking forward to it. I got to get up there for that. It's going to be pretty off the hook, I think.
Resi mats, huge kickers, like the stuff that you see in his action figures movie brought to real life and like in your face. I mean, the only other time you can watch that stuff is to coach Travis's compound or something, or convince him to come and hang out. But it's going to be some next level entertainment. If you've seen Nitro Tour, you know how good that show is. I can't imagine when you actually got some people coming out of the woodwork,
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, if you haven't been to Nitro Tour, and you did some of that back in the beginning, you toured with them, didn't you?
Yeah, I was one of the original Nitro Circus guys. I mean, I think it was me, Andy Bell, Travis, Street Bike Tommy, Special Greg, Kenny Bartram, and once they started doing the MTV stuff and all that, my schedule really just didn't allow it, having kids and stuff like that. I just, I saw the value. I love the crew, but I just couldn't kind of get into the things they were getting into and provide for my family, because usually you end up watered up on the couch quite a bit with those guys. So, still buddies, still consider myself a Nitro guy. I just, haven't found my way on tour or nothing like that. And I would say more on me than them. It's not like they've never invited me anything. I just haven't been able to, put myself in there like that. And at the level those guys are riding in freestyle right now, they're doing train backflips and double flips, and you got to bring something to the table more than just field runner whips. So I can handle it. I mean, it's fun to watch. I took my family to the Anaheim show, and it was just tripping, man. It was really cool, but it's going to make being entertained by freestyle motocross even harder. It's like that much action, that many talented riders or athletes in your face. It's like, wow, man, what a show.
Yeah. Well, I know your son's traveling with you too. He's starting to rip it, especially on a mountain bike, right?
Yeah, my son Nate, he's going to be 16 here at the end of the month, and makes me feel old as hell, but it is what it is. He's really into the downhill mountain bike stuff, and I guess kind of following the old man's footsteps, just without a motor. He's using pedals and gravity. Like he loves free riding and shoveling, digging, kind of treating his sport just like I treat mine. I mean, I definitely see my role as a dad and where I can help and I can kind of be a good guiding light for him. So it's awesome to see. I mean, he does some stuff. I'm that dad that's not pushing him. I'm like, no, don't you need to do that yet? But he surprises me, man. He puts the work in and got a lot of confidence. So I watch him do his thing, and it's pretty darn awesome to watch as a dad.
Yeah, well, I know you guys went up to Rampage. How was that, dude? I was watching that, and I've watched it every year, but it seems like that's just getting more and more ridiculous every single year. It's just what those guys are doing is mind-blowing.
Oh, it's rad. I mean, those riders are nuts, and it's right there on the level of freestyle where these guys are just the most talented dudes, and it's kind of their big one, time to shine, time to get after it, and they take a lot of pride in their digging, and a couple weeks to go into it. So I obviously grab my kid, go up there and show him what it's all about at the ground level. I'm lucky enough to have the resources to get in there on the mix, and we take our Razor up, we go drive Sand Hollow up in Utah, and kind of cruise the hills out there by Rampage and fart around. So it's fun. I get my little fix, he gets his fix, and then you watch one hell of a banging show. So I don't know. There's going to come a day, though, when he's got to do it, and I'm going to be scared to death watching him get on that hill.
Right, for sure. So 2016, what's on tap for Renner? Some more, I guess, just more shenanigans, right? Some more free ride stuff and filming and projects and maybe some Terracross?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I'm going to, focus on the X Games. I got to try to keep my streak alive on that, and I got a few more planned to, stay in there and keep going for those wins. And beyond that, Razors, I'm putting a lot of focus on those and getting these edits done, and just trying to, I'm not trying to compete with RJ on the badass stuff he's making, but I want to make some cool stuff that, at the end of the day, just inspire people to go out and drive or ride or whatever. Free-ride everything is the loose program philosophy, and that usually goes by way of dirt bikes, Razors, and mountain bikes. So I'm adding SR1s to that, possible Rallycross. I went up to Dirtfish a couple weeks ago with the Subaru gang and got another I wouldn't even call it a hobby. I want to be career. We'll just have to see how everything evolves, dude. I got more hobbies than there is time, so not the worst problem to have. Just got to figure out how to pay for it all,
Yeah, well, I was going to tell you, I know you went up to Dirtfish, and they're sponsors of mine, and I was like, man, I know I took LaValle up there with me, and another kid named Cole Cottew that races Terracross up there with me into the summer, man, and Levi it was like got its hooks in him, so I know we're all going to get together and go up there for an advanced class sometime later this year, so I'll have to hit you up, man. We had a blast up there for 3 days.
Yeah, man, please do. I mean, I can't say enough good things about that place. And no, I'm not sponsored by them or nothing. It's just like when, people deserve credit, they get it from me because those instructors, just the whole course, I mean, not one negative, bad thing to say. I mean, I think anybody wants to say you want more seat time.
Right.
But you're not learning, there's such thing as doing everything wrong, or what is it? I always say practice doesn't make perfect if you're doing it wrong. Perfect practice makes perfect. So they get you out, correct some things, get you back in, and I mean, it just flows so good. I mean, I'm more talking to all the people listening to myself. The program there, and I can imagine if you're going on about it, people are probably like, oh yeah, he's sponsored, whatever. But telling the people the place is the real deal, and I'm planning on getting back for a 2-wheel class. I think that's going to help me in the SR1.
Yeah.
As well as whatever Razor stuff, whatever sandrail stuff I'm doing, like just took in so much there, and hopefully get back here pretty soon. Yeah. I'd love to go with that one with you guys when you go too. It'd be, there was a couple of groups there, like businesses and stuff, and you could just tell those guys were all having a good time. I was kind of.
You there? Uh-oh. You there, Ronnie? Dropped. I know he's out at Ocotillo. Yeah, we'll see if we can buzz him right back here. He's out at Ocotillo getting ready to do some free-riding. And,
your call has been forwarded to an
cell
automatic
service
voice message system.
Cell service a little off there with Renner, but always fun catching up with Ronnie Renner. We'll see if he buzzes back in. And I'm getting a note from Robby. He was caught in meetings, so the way we're going to work this, I know you guys are waiting on a Robby Gordon interview. You are going to get a Robby Gordon interview. It's probably not going to be live on air, so be watching my website. We're going to when we get off air today at some point, I'm going to record with Robby, and obviously this is our last show of the year. It's going to be a Dakar preview, so we're going to drop that on the website hopefully later on today, if not tomorrow. But we will get that interview with Robby Gordon. This is literally crunch time for Robby. He's it's basically a madhouse for those guys. I just got confirmation. I will be recording with Robby later today. So those of you tuned in, I'm sorry about that. It just, things happen, juggle schedule. And, they've got some big announcements coming out that hopefully we'll be able to talk about. But we will have that interview with Robby. I'm literally, as we're talking here on air, texting with them. And their apologies. They said it's a very hectic day. But we will be getting an interview with Robby. It's going to drop on the website later on today. So definitely, be aware of that, and and you'll have to come back and I guess re-click for that. So my apologies. He's supposed to be live. Things got caught up, with this Dakar planning. Literally, he's a week, 2 weeks out from flying to South America. They're juggling everything, trying to get it dialed in, and and that's kind of what happens. So. There you go. So we are going to take a short break. We come back. We'll have Cole Cottew on air. We'll be talking some rally, some Snocross, and then hour number 2, we got Ami Houde on tap as well. So lots more to come on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Been a little bit of a wild show. Robby, getting caught up. Ronnie Renner randomly calling in. You never know what's going to happen on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, but that's what makes it so much fun. So stay tuned. We will be coming at you here in just a little bit.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, Snocross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm your host, Jim Beaver. Just finishing up hour number one. Hour number two kicking off. We got good friend Cole Cottew calling in just a minute. Hour number one, complete and utter chaos. But that's what makes this show so much fun to do. I got to tell you, you listeners had no idea what to expect. Expecting Robby Gordon, got Ronnie Renner randomly. We're going to be recording with Robby later today, posting that to the website at some point. So I don't know, man. Things up in the air. But right now we got Cole Cottew on the line. How's everything going, Cole?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem, buddy. Well, I got to tell you, you had a pretty scary get-off this weekend. I guess we just got to break the ice with that, man. It was a pretty gnarly crash, but you walked away from it.
Yeah, it was, I think I was running like 4th, 5th area in the final, and I just kind of, I wiped my goggles, and when I landed, I went to hit the next jump, and there was kind of a double lip, and it kicked me and endoed and front flipped my sled, and I did like 2 flips with my body, and almost got landed on by another sled. So it's a pretty gnarly crash, but walked away completely fine and ended up finishing the race. But it was probably the gnarliest crash of my life. So I had to walk away good.
Yeah, for sure. And then I know you battled back the next day, and you were in the main event both days, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Saturday I ended up getting my first heat race win, so that felt awesome in this class. This is the new class, and then ended up 7th in the final, and it was a gnarly final. There was people everywhere, and it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
How has it been? I mean, this year, I mean, you had some victories last year. I mean, stepping up to pro light this year. I mean, how has that transition been to you? Did you expect the competition level to increase so much? I mean, how has the transition been for you?
It's been good. I feel like my speed's there. I've had some good races. I've had some bad ones too, though. I'm learning a lot every time I'm on the track, so that's cool. And I hope I can keep learning and building games. But yeah, it's definitely a different level. Last year I was in the sport class and got some wins, and ended up walking away with the championship, and I had a lot of confidence. I felt like everything was going good. I put in the work this summer and felt confident going into the season. But like I said today or yesterday, I was in 7th place, and it's just crazy. Like there's people behind me. They'd be right on my tail, and then I'm just not used to being that far back in the pack and having people pressure me from behind. So it's like everyone's going the same speed. Like anyone can win. Like, so it's pretty crazy. Like just this level that everyone's on in this class. Like everyone's right there. Like, so it's definitely tough. Going to be a tough year, but I'm excited for it. I feel like I'm ready, and I feel like we're there, and just need to keep learning every time I'm on the track. And hopefully we get some better snow. Snow conditions were not that good this weekend. It was soaking wet, and there wasn't much snow on the track, and the roofs would just cover you. I'd get done with the race, and I'd be drenched head to toe. And so I get on some better tracks, and not as wet tracks, and I think it'll be good. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. So I know, we got a ton to talk about, but I know I had you up, Dirtfish Rally School. You, me, and Levi went up there, and, and you kind of got your first taste of rally. I know I just had Ronnie Renner on air before you, and I got us another volunteer. He just got done at Dirtfish, and he got his hooks in him, so he's like, I want to go back with you and Cole and Levi. So we got Ronnie Renner wants to go back with us this year when we do part 2, but how was your first rally? I mean, you jump into your first rally, walk away with victory. That had to have been pretty awesome. Yeah,
it was. I didn't expect that at all. That was awesome. Just went and did a rally here in Minnesota, close to where, it was only an hour and a half from our shop, and went out there and did, I think there was like 4 stages. In the first stage, I ended up getting like 3rd fastest time, and I didn't feel that good. I kind of felt like I was a little bit slower, and I didn't feel as comfortable with the car yet, and then ended up going out, and I was a minute faster the last 3 stages, so felt really good, and didn't expect to get the win at all, so that was awesome. Rally's so fun. Like, I can't wait to go back to Dirtfish and do that again. That's definitely on my bucket list to do again. So, but yeah, I didn't expect that at all. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, and, the car you were driving, I mean, that's the car that just won the Super Production National Championship this past year. So, you're jumping into a car that was, that we know can win races. I mean, veteran co-driver Scott Putnam, I've had him on air with Lachlan, who drove the car in 2015, had them on air at one point. But, how was that? I mean, how was driving the car? I mean, how was Scott? I mean, obviously, it's your first time really in a rally with notes and somebody calling out corners. I mean, how was that for you?
Yeah, that was definitely a whole new ball game, to learn. When I race sleds, I'm on the track by myself, or razors, I'm by myself. So it's definitely different racing with someone in the car with you. Yeah, Scott's an awesome guy, and I couldn't thank him enough for giving me the opportunity to do that. I'm so excited for that. And but yeah, when he's calling out orders, there's sometimes like there was just so much, like I'd kind of zone him out, and I just kind of do my thing, and then I'd come up to a hill, and I wouldn't know it's on the other side, so I'd automatically tune in and start listening to him again. So it's just crazy, like, how the mind works and how all that worked out. But yeah, it was cool. But they actually, Scott, like, he's kind of a little nervous because he didn't know me that well, like, let me race the car. And at first, like, before we raced, he couldn't stress. He's like, just don't break the car, like, just don't drive over your head. It's not that big of a deal. It's your first race, like, blah blah, all that, because he's like, the car has to be on display in a show in 1 week. Like, don't wreck the car. So I was just happy that I didn't wreck the car.
So that being said, I mean, obviously, you did that event. Any chance we see you, maybe run some of the Rally America, national rounds or anything this year, or what's the plans?
As of now, I don't have any plans. My dad doesn't. He's already got enough plates, so he doesn't really want to get into that. But I would love to. But it's tough right now because he's putting in so much work with the Terracross and the Snocross. So I don't blame him. I'm okay with just keep continuing to do that. But if I ever have the opportunity, I'm definitely down because Rally is so much fun.
Yeah, he's probably like, dang it, I should have never let him go to Dirtfish. He wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's like. He's like, gosh, like now we're gonna have to get into that, aren't we? And I think that joke. So
yeah, you're gonna have to build a new wing onto the garage, right, or onto the race shop.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not excited about that, but no, he was like in shock. He didn't expect me to do well at all. He was joking. He's like, "You're the worst driver I've ever rode with." Like, how? I don't get it.
Well,
so that's pretty funny.
Well, that's what's funny because I've been up to Dirtfish I don't know how many times now, and and it's always fun going up there and bringing you guys, and I think they see so many people through the school, and some sometimes they get 80, 90-year-old women that want to go and try rally, so and I think getting you guys, I know they had a lot of fun with our group, and especially you, and and they were going, gosh, they're like Levi and Cole, they're like they picked this rally stuff up really, really quick, and I think they were pretty impressed, and then I know Trevor. He's like, dude, Cole won in his first rally. He's like, that's awesome. He's like, can I get his cell number? And I'm like, yeah, Trevor from Dirtfish. And I'm like, for sure. I think they were pumped. I mean, they love seeing, somebody's been to the school and then immediately go out and, and try rally and, and have some success with it.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, Trevor texted me, and that was just cool to get the text from him, telling me good job. And, like, so that's just cool that they still continue to, follow, like, who's been through the school. And Dirtfish, I had so much fun there. Like I said, like I want to go back so bad in the future, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, what's 2016? Bringing for you? Obviously, you got some Snocross. You're back. You going to do Terracross again in 2016? I'm for sure that's got to be on the schedule, right?
Yep, Terracross is on the schedule already, and So, excited for that, and then finish out the Snocross season. We have a 3 or 4 week break right now, so get some rest, let the body, rest a little bit, and then start pounding motos and, get back on the sled here. I think in a couple of days I'll be back on the sled riding and training and getting ready for that. And then, that's, Terracross, I'll get back on. I'll do some dirt biking. I want to do some dirt bike races, nothing serious, just more for fun. Me and my buddies always go and ride practice tracks and just have fun. So I want to do some dirt bike races, and that's about all I got planned.
Yeah. Well, I know Terracross seemed like you got a lot of momentum going towards the end of the year. I know you took that non-points win up there in Charlotte, and then Glamis was a ton of fun there. But it seems like you really this year you started really being able to push. So you got to be excited to make a run at the championship next year.
Yeah, hopefully it goes well. I had some good races this year, but I also had some bad ones. We won't remember those ones. But no, I ended up ending the season with a second place, and I think I actually finished both. I think I got like a 5th and a 2nd at Glamis, something like that. So it's cool to just keep the momentum rolling, and really looking forward to it. I really want to battle up there with like Luberg and Anderson, and hopefully I can battle with them all year and stay consistent. That's my main thing right now. I have the speed, it seems like, but I'm just not as consistent. You got to kind of finesse the machine, and I was kind of rammy a little bit towards the middle of the year, but I think it'll be good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Well, that being said, Snocross, we're a couple rounds deep now. I mean, what's the goals for 2016? I mean, you're a rookie in Pro Light. What's the plans? I mean, obviously you'd love to see yourself on the podium at some point this year, right?
Yeah, I feel like I can do it. I have confidence right now. I know my finishes haven't been that well, but I've had some strong runs, and my speed's there. I've had some good lap times. So I truly think I can get it, but if not, I really want to get some top 5 finishes and just be more consistent and just get the feel for this new class, and just learn. I just want to keep learning every time I'm on the track and just build gain from it. And I learned a lot this last week, and just those first 2 laps are so aggressive. Like, everyone's right there. Like, I thought, the one day I got hit in like the first 3 corners and like bumped back, and I was like, holy cow, like I didn't expect that. And then the next heat race I actually got the whole shot, and I was in first for the first half a lap, and then I got hit and went to second, and then I got hit again and went to third, and then I went from third to first in one corner. So, and I was more aggressive but I learned so much. Like, I just thought since I got the whole shot, it would have been an easier race. Like, just had to do what I knew how to do. But there's so many people with that same speed, and they're not afraid to bump you a little bit, push you out of their way. But no, I'm learning, and there's got to be more aggressive, I think, and that'll help me a lot, I believe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's all new competitors. I mean, some of you raced against before, but new sled. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and I kind of chalk it up to my year in Terracross. And hopefully you don't have you do a lot of better than I did in Terracross. But it's one of those things. I give myself a year, in a new series, a new, everything's new. You got to give yourself a year to just kind of get your feet under you and figure things out.
Yeah, exactly. And what I think helps me is I actually have 2 teammates that, I live together. We all live in the race shop, but 2 teammates that are kind of veterans of the Pro Light class, and they've all got wins under their belt. They're top guys, and one of my teammates actually won this last weekend. So that was cool for him, and I get to learn so much from them at the practice track, and they help me out, and I help them out sometimes. We both do things different, but it's good for us. We all want to win, but we all want each other to win. If one of us has a bad race, we're right up at the podium with the other one that did good. So it's a cool like little family we got going on. Like, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, well, and it's got to be nice having those teammates. I mean, definitely help with sleds setup and and things like that. At each venue, right?
Yeah, exactly. We all can see. We all might try a different setup, like in one heat, and what we think was the best, and we'll use that, and like it works good. And then, like, with me, I'm always bad at feedback with my shocks, so me and one of my teammates, Travis, kind of ride similar. We have similar styles. So, and he's really good at feedback, so he'll kind of tell me, or he'll tell the mechanics what his sled's doing, and then they can just transfer it over to my sled, and then my sled will feel better. So that's one thing I do need to work on is feedback, but I'm getting better, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I mean, I know a lot of the venues are quite a bit different. Anyone specific you're looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to Joliet, Illinois. I did good there last year. I got my first win there. I love the track, and then Michigan, Mount Pleasant. That track is awesome. It goes up and over a hill. It's all whoop section, and it gets pretty gnarly. And that's one of my favorite tracks of the year. So I'm always excited for those. But I think this next race in Canterbury, that should be a good track, and I'm excited for that one too.
Awesome. Yeah, Canterbury always seems like that's that's got to be that's the biggest event of the year, it seems like, though, right?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest for crowd, spectator-wise. It's got one of the best viewing for the whole track. It's got half of the viewings inside. If you just got to pay a couple extra bucks and you can be inside heated, and it's right at a horse track, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
Works perfect.
For sure. All right, Cole. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call in, and have a great Christmas, and we'll definitely catch up, after the first of the year, and good luck at the next race.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and yeah, for sure, I'm down for that. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely get dialed in for Dirtfish. Another time this next year too. I know Levi wants to go back. Obviously, we got Ronnie Renner now, and you. We're gonna have a heck of a crowd up there.
Yeah, I'm down. Don't forget to call me on that one.
Yeah, no, I won't. Ought to be fun though, going to the advanced class next, and getting to dial in some, some stuff. I think some even longer stretches out through the woods and stuff. So it should be fun.
That'll be sweet. I can't wait.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Cole. We'll talk soon, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, that was Cole Cottew, racing some Snocross this past weekend, races Terracross Championship with me, and, also trying his hand at Rally. Took a Rally America regional victory up there in Minnesota in Lachlan O'Sullivan, Scott Putnam's car this, about 2 weeks ago now. So, lots of fun stuff, involved in a lot of stuff, and I tell you what, he's pretty successful at all of it. So awesome young kid, definitely one to follow on social media and keep tabs on, and think you're going to be seeing a lot of him in the future. Been an interesting show so far. A lot of you just tuning in. I know, promised you Robby Gordon. We will have Robby Gordon. It's just going to be recorded after we get off air, so you're going to have to check back at downanddirtyshow.com for that interview. We're going to be recording with Robby off air. He got tied up in some meetings regarding Dakar 2016 and wasn't able to make the call in, but we will have that interview. Ronnie Renner dropping in, and just randomly, always great to have Ronnie calling in, and X Games. I don't know, too many X Games gold medals to count at this point, and always fun to catch up with Renner. And, Cole Cottew, rocking and rolling today. We're kind of in the middle of a 2015 recap when stuff kind of hit the fan and call in from every direction. So we're going to kind of finish that. We kind of got through some FD. We've done some GRC, some WRX, some stage rally, and I guess we got to recap some short course now. Got to switch in gears, and got Ami Houde still to come on the show as well. Talking short course 2015 as we continue on with these recaps. I think obviously you got Torque, you got Lucas. Torque changing owners, so we're going to have new owners heading into 2016. Should be interesting to see, how that impacts the series. Obviously, they do a tremendous job of their live stream. Got some great venues. Crandon back on with the Torque series. Bark River, they've got the new venue at Sturgis. Chicago is always successful. They run in Charlotte, and usually try and throw in an event out west here too as well. Torque, entries aren't quite what Lucas Oil is. I mean, we all know that, but the biggest takeaway from there, whether it be Pro Light, Pro 4, Pro 2, the young talent in Torque is just phenomenal. The two names come to mind. C.J. Greaves, this kid's an animal. Obviously, son of Johnny Greaves. He is just tremendous. One of the best young talents in the United States behind the wheel. And I think we're going to see some tremendous things from him. Obviously he's got that big Monster Energy backing. And his dad can definitely help show him the ropes. They've got some logical tie-ins with Toyota. I know he spent some time behind the wheel of a NASCAR. So C.J. Greaves, coming out of the Torque series, I think, he's one of the ones to watch for. And then Keegan Kincaid, this kid is obviously, he's second generation, short course racer as well. He's another one. Keegan just, he's got some great backing with Traxxas. He runs Stadium Super Trucks. Has been highly successful there. Highly successful in Torque. He makes his Pro 2 debut and immediately, success follows. And that was towards the end of the season. I think we're going to see him, predominantly in Pro 2 next year. He dominates in Pro Light. So I think with Torque, it's just these young guns, the ones to watch out for. I think moving into 2016, Ari Lyondike Jr., he's going to have a new truck. Definitely going to be one to watch for in Pro 2 as well. Looking over at the Lucas Oil side of things, Kyle LeDuc, Pro 4 Kyle LeDuc, I think the big storyline there is who's going to step up and match Kyle LeDuc, because he's been absolutely dominant. And that's the easiest way to put it. Absolutely dominant in Pro 4. Who is going to catch Kyle? That's the storyline this offseason heading into 2016. Pro 2, some of the best racing in motorsports in Pro 2. Bryce, McCachran, the list goes on. We've seen RJ step up his Pro 2 game. We've got Deegan in there. McGrath. Pro 2 in Lucas Oil is just ridiculous. And, I don't know. It's a crapshoot in 2016. There's 10 guys that could take this championship. I have no idea who it's going to be at this point. Definitely the division to watch in Lucas Oil. And then looking at Pro Light, same thing. It's deep. 30 entries deep. Some of the best young talent. We've seen Sheldon Creed, obviously have some ridiculous successes there. I think, looking at 2016, if I had to pick one kid to watch, a guy that kind of made his debut earlier this year, I'd say Ronnie Anderson, younger brother to RJ Anderson. Ronnie, I would say in 2016, he's the kid to watch coming out of Pro Light in Lucas Oil. Moving over to the desert side of things, and, I don't know, looking at Trophy Truck and in the desert, Jason Voss and Rob McCachran, those two, you want to talk about guys that win races. There's a lot of guys that finish a lot of races and are in the top 5, but the guys that win races, a lot of guys are fast in qualifying as well, but Rob McCachran, Jason Voss, the past 2 years, these have been the guys. Bryce Menzies fast, Robby Gordon fast, BJ Baldwin's fast, Tavo's fast, the McMillans are fast. But Rob McCachran, Jason Voss, they get to the checkered flag. Seems like these are the guys that 9 times out of 10 are taking those race wins. And I think moving forward, a lot of fast guys. Who's going to put it together and dethrone McCachran and Voss, because it seems like they're taking the lion's share of the victories. So. There you go. That's kind of, to me, the recap for desert racing. Those are your guys, McCachran and Voss, and McCachran surrounding himself with some amazing people, longer racing and listening to the help of Andy McMillan. And McCachran's even taken Voss under his wing at the 1,000, this past year in 2014 to take that victory. So very smart from the veteran. Jason Voss has been ridiculously fast, and, I don't know, 2016, with this new Best in the Desert schedule, I think it's going to be the championship to watch in the desert in 2016. So, we are going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have Ami Houde on the line. She's going to be recapping well, not recapping. She's going to be talking 2016 Supercross. Looking forward to that. And like I said before, those of you tuning in, don't forget, Robby Gordon will be on air in a recorded interview. We're going to upload that because we're taking a 2-week break here. We're going to upload that to downanddirtyshow.com later on today. So definitely want to stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to the website and catch that interview when you get the chance. But Ami Houde up next here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Thanks for staying tuned, and we're going to come back at you with 30 more minutes of some of the best action motorsports radio show on the planet up next.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, Snocross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Baja, check. King of the Hammers, check. Crandon, check. The Mint 400, check. Only one wheel company can say they have dominated the deserts and rocks of the Southwest to the mud and carnage of the big house at Crandon, and that company is KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels has won them all with the help of elite drivers like Travis Pastrana, Ricky Johnson, Bryce Menzies, Carl Renazetter, and Lauren Healy, who all rely on the XT Series from KMC Wheels to get them to the finish line and on top of the podium. Check out KMC Wheels and their full line of XT Series wheels at KMCWheels.com or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KMC Wheels. KMC Wheels, like no other.
Rigid Industries is the original and #1 LED light bar manufacturer in the world. Torture tested by some of the best drivers in motorsports. Rigid LED lighting products use cutting-edge technology and can stand up to the harshest conditions Mother Nature can dish out. Designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States, Rigid LED lighting is the only choice for your off-road vehicle or boat. Find out more information on the entire line of Rigid Industries LED lighting products at www.rigidindustries.com.
Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And, well, it has been a bit of an unconventional show today. I guess that would be an understatement. Kicking things off, I don't know, we've recapped 2015. We've had Ronnie Renner call in, unscheduled, but we've had Renner on air. We've had Robby Gordon, who was scheduled. That's getting pushed back to I'm going to record off air later today, and we're going to post that to the website. So downanddirtyshow.com, you'll be able to find that interview there. We've had Cole Cottew on air. We've talked a little bit of Snocross, and we got Ami Houde calling in a few minutes. She texted me. She's running a few minutes behind. She'll be calling in to kind of talk some Supercross, but we did have some racing action over the weekend. No talking with Cole. Obviously, we had some Snocross action going down, and taking the wins this weekend, we had Tim Tremblay taking home the Pro Open win. Adam Reinheim in second, Cody Cam third, Tucker Hibbert down there in fourth. And Pro Open round 4, the second Pro Open race in Snocross, we had Tucker Hibbert take the win, Cody Cam in second, Lincoln Lemieux third. So it puts your points. We got a deadlock with Hibbert and Cam for the points lead. I got to tell you, I'm kind of liking that. No offense to Tucker Hibbert, big Tucker Hibbert fan here, but I just like seeing a battle. I mean, last year it was all Hibbert. This year, we've seen some battling. So I'm kind of liking that. But Pro Light was James Johnstad, Shane Sewell, and Jake Angove taking home your top 3 in the first race, and then your second race there in Fargo, it was Martin Moland, Montana Jess, and Maxim Talifer taking home the 1, 2, 3 podiums. So those are your Pro Light, podium finishers for the weekend. And then also had a desert race over the weekend, Snore, generally kind of one of the grassroots series. We don't talk about them a lot on air, but they have a huge event once a year called the Rage at the River in Laughlin, Nevada. Almost 400 entries for this race, just mind-boggling entries. And don't have full results on that yet, but almost 400 entries. Don't normally get a lot of trophy trucks. They had almost 20 of them. It just an amazing event, but they also had a live stream, and got to give a shout-out to them, doing the live stream right. So congrats to that, Snore. But right now, Ami Houde is on the line. That means we got to hit some music.
You better bust that if you don't pull that. Where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at?
What's happening, Ami Houde?
Hey, how's it going?
We have had a nutty show today. It's the easiest way to put it. You're about the only constant we've had today. So
I'm the only what?
You're the only constant. You're the only one that called in. Cole Cottew did too. But so the first hour of the show, get this. So we were supposed to have Robby Gordon on air, right? He's getting ready to fly down to Dakar for the rally. So he got caught up in some sponsor meetings, and I had like the first full hour, booked for Robby on air. So I'm getting text messages. He's in meetings and stuff like that. So he's running behind. And so then it got to the point where it's like, he's not going to make it, so I'm going to record something after the show, and we're going to post it up because everybody wants this Robby Gordon interview, right? So in the middle of all this shenanigans going on, I'm getting text from Renner. So randomly, I'm like, well, screw it. I just call Renner. So we get an unscheduled 20-minute interview with Ronnie Renner. Robby Gordon, who was supposed to be on, wasn't. It was just literally the first hour. I don't know what the heck happened, but it ended up happening. So
it's the holiday season. Everyone's scrambling for everything. That's how December is. And especially like 2 weeks before Christmas, like it's not just the Christmas shopping, it's our lives are in shambles because, you know, it's just hectic on hecticness. So
yeah. So yeah, it was fun, you know, and that's about all there is to it. Always fun to have Renner on air, you know, and you know, talking about what he's got going on and you know what 2016 is going to bring for him. But he's going to be racing Terracross with us next year, so that's exciting.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's totally has to be my co-driver. We're obviously like two peas in a pod. We're like male-female version of each other, probably separated at birth. Brother, sister from another mister, mother, whatever, you know, like we are just, it's kind of creepy how similar we are personality-wise, so we're both like ADD children.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I was talking about him, and he was talking about, you know, because he does all the kind of the announcing or TV for the X Fighters, right, for Red Bull X Fighters. Yeah. He's talking about how crazy FMX has gotten, you know, and how far these guys have pushed it. And I laughed, you know, and he's kind of saying like, I'm glad I don't have to do that stuff now. You know, I just do the old, I just do the old Renner whip. And you know, as he's saying all this, I'm laughing. I'm like, dude, I've talked with Ronnie Feist recently, and Feist is like, dude, I'm so glad I don't have to compete against these kids now. There's no way I want to do these tricks. And Renner goes, dude, he's like, he's fine in the cage just like I am. But then he goes, here's an interesting fact. He's like, me and Feist are only a week apart in age. He's like, we are absolutely in the same spots in our lives right now.
That's funny. Yeah, no. But other than the fact that Renner has a whole, like, motocross race team of children, like he can have his own race team with just his kids, so he's rocking that dad life hard, but it's cool.
Yeah, no, his son Nate, we were talking about, I started following him on Instagram, and his son Nate, I guess he's 16, but he's killing it on a mountain bike. And I know, you know, Renner's pretty much anything with two wheels, he'll go. And he said, man, he's like, some of the stuff Nate's doing is scaring me. He's like, he's that good, you know, so.
Yeah, and I know his daughter plays a big role in motocross, too. She has no fear, and he constantly, like, he used to send me a bunch of updates on her and her little pink bike, and it's cool. It's cool to see that.
Yeah, for sure. So what's happening with you? I know you did a little racing over the weekend. Looked like you had some fun. Won one of the days, right?
Yeah, I was so stoked. Okay, I texted you on Saturday after my race, and I'm pretty sure that I said that I'm high on life because of my racing, because I've been out for so long. You guys keep in mind I'm from Canada. Come October, I have to get my bike back to Honda, so I'm bikeless. I'm like, you know, riding an old vintage bike pretty much doesn't do the same thing. So I kind of have a couple months off where I'm not doing any riding, so I'm like just itching to get out there and never mind riding, but racing, because I really like the whole competitive side to it. It was like the best weekend ever. It was cool just to go out there. Like, I had no expectations. I had never sat on that 500 in my life. And I had 2 laps of practice, and I just had to pedal to the metal. So it was really, really cool because I didn't really know what to expect. And I had so much fun, and I left the day with just on such a high, and I was like, oh my God, Jim, guess what? Blah, blah. Called all my friends, told them to come down for Sunday. It was a blast. So it was Saturday, Sunday racing. We were doing ice ovals. So normally we do like the kind of like a road racing style track with like left and right turns and like small corners and big corners. But this was a 5th gear, wide open. I think we got clocked at 97, 100 and something. Oh, between 90 and 100 miles an hour on the bike.
Wow.
To 2 left-hand turns. We had downshift to force, like, coming into the turns. I posted a video on my Instagram. You guys can take a look. Like, literally, we're coming in 5th gear wide open. You shift down and you lay it flat. Like, it's awesome. So the first day I got a 3rd in my heat and a 6th overall, which was not bad. I struggled so hard on the first day because the 500, can't start it. Like, it was the biggest beast in the pit to try to start. Like, that thing's all hopped up and modded out, like, to do, like, top speed. So it's really, really finicky, and the clutch is really finicky on it as well. So my dad would have to start it, and you can't leave it idle because of the temperatures. It's like, you know, the jetting's all whacked out on it. So they'd have to start it and go. And you couldn't let it idle or, you know, it would, we just, like, blow out all the spark plugs. I think we blew out 2 in the weekend. But, and then the starting gate was kind of on the other side of the track. So I'd start it up, go, have to get in neutral and, like, push it to the line. And I can't touch the ground. Like, literally, I'm at least a foot off each side off the ground. Like, I could not touch. So some guy had to run out and, like, hold my bike for me. And it kind of held it to one side, and the one moto, I, like, tippy-toed it. So my starts were terrible on Saturday. So I was always kind of coming from the back. And, you know, my bike was definitely the fastest out there all day. Like, like, fifth gear, once I hit fifth gear down the straightaways, like, no one could touch us. So that was awesome. That was definitely to our advantage. But now my starts, I was all over left and right because, like, when you're tippy-toeing and you can't touch the ground, I was kind of, like, side-saddling it. So I just, like, went off in one direction instead of going straight, and, yeah, it sucked. But the next day, my dad made me a little starting block out of a piece of wood and, like, put some studs on the bottom, and it was awesome. It was so much better. I could actually, like, touch the ground. But day one, so a third and a sixth overall, and I went back the next day, and I'm like, okay, I've been beaking this guy all weekend and, like, all day. I'm like, I'm going to beat you, man. I'm going to beat you. He won semi-pro last year, and he works at one of the local motocross dealerships here, or motocross shops here, and he's a really, really good ice rider. Like, he's fast, and he had a really good bike, too, great tire setup, so he was always, like, the guy to beat, and he's won, like, by a mile, like, not even just kind of, like, battling out with second place. Like, he's gone from the rest of the pack, so I'm like, I'm going to beat you, just beaking him just to kind of, like, get under his skin. And all of his, like, guy friends were out there watching. And my first heat, I was off in third. Got a decent start, passed second place, and I was in the lead at one point. And then this guy, Matt, passed me. And I'm like, no way. I am not letting this guy win. And last corner, I kind of came around on the outside on him. And then going down the straightaway to the finish line, I just tucked it, held it in fifth wide open, and I got him right at the finish line. It was awesome, and the whole crowd just, like, went crazy, and it was a really, really good feeling to beat the guy who's won last year, and then he won the main on Saturday as well. So Sunday, my main did not go over so well. The ice was terrible, so like, right now it's about, I don't know what it'd be Fahrenheit, like, we're at, like, -1, so it was just freezing, so maybe 30 degrees in Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So the ice, we were, like, struggling with the ice, especially because we were racing with the sleds, so the ice oval sleds, and they kind of tear it up quite a bit. So on Saturday, we were lucked out where we were right after intermission, our main, so they had cleaned the track, and the track was great, and it was nice ice. But we were dead last, and the two big, like, pro classes in the ice ovals had just gone before us and did 10 laps and chewed the crap out of the track. And so we were battling. They actually had to push the track out because we hit gravel. So the second moto, I got a decent start, and I was third, and I was running third, and I was trying to go wide, but there was literally, like, one lane on the inside. And anytime I would go on the outside, I'd hit the snow, and it was almost like turning to slush at that point in my front end. So I was just getting some head wobbles, and it was really, really sketchy. And then all the guys were hitting the pylons, and there's pylons flying, and yeah, it was a little dangerous. So I kind of chickened out. I hadn't really had enough experience on the 500 to, be able to figure out how to ride on a little bit of different terrains rather than if it's not just nice, clean ice. So I struggled on the second main. I was kind of pissed off. But I finished the weekend with a 4th overall in semi-pro. I thought I was going to finish like 5th or 6th or something, but I got a 4th overall because my win gave me a lot of points to finish 4th. So I was pumped. I mean, never ridden that 500 ever in my life, and I won one race out of it. So I'm happy. I'm stoked. We have another ice oval in March, but I'm hoping to probably get down to the States or over to Alberta and do some more. So It was good. It was a fun time.
Yeah, it looked like flat track racing on ice. I mean, it was legit.
Yeah, no, that's it. Like the studs that we use, we don't use studs. We use these like special studs for ice. Like we used to always just use a normal stud, but now we use these ice picks, and it's pure hookup. Like you guys wouldn't believe. Like you do not slide, you do not move, you do not wiggle wobble anywhere. Like it is just pure hookup, unless you hit the snow, obviously, because snow is slippery. But you can lay it flat as you can get. My dad drags the bars, and speaking of my dad, 60 years old, wins all 4 pro motos. Crazy. Like everyone was just like on their feet watching him. Him and one other guy, they're really, really close. But again, we had a super fast bike, and my dad was so excited on his bike that he had built. So, no, he had a huge lead on the second day, but pretty pumped for my dad. You know, that ice racing is his thing. He loves it. He, gets like 10 bikes ready for the winter to bring out to the track so everybody can try it, and he tries to get everybody involved and, having a passion for ice racing. So it's pretty cool, and he's so talented on that bike. It's insane. But funny story, like I said, I normally do a road racing style course instead of an ice oval. So my first practice, I go out there. I actually had a great practice. I think he even came off second in qualifying or something, and I come to pull off the track. Well, I did a hard right, and I had no idea that the ice oval track tires are completely different than road racing style, and there's no studs on the right side. So I wiped out in front of everybody coming off the track, and everyone was like sitting there laughing at me, and my dad's like, I guess I probably should have told you that they're different tires and there's no studs on the right. Oh, it was so embarrassing. Yeah, that's how that went down. And everyone's like, Amy, I thought you know how to drive. I'm like, shut up.
Oh, it's too funny. You know what my takeaway from this whole story is? You're missing a huge opportunity to make a ton of money. You need to come out with some Ami Houde moto steps. I think that's what they need to be called. And literally like these trick-licking blocks that you use on the side of your bike to stand up for short people.
I know. Well, there's starting blocks out there. There's a ton of them. I just too cheap to go buy any. And why buy one when you can just make it out of a piece of wood? A little block. Just cut it up. 2x4. I think mine's like the 2x9 or whatever, like the bigger one. 2x4s aren't even big enough for me.
Oh,
So
shoot.
honestly, I gotta take a photo of like how short I am on that 500. It sits so tall on the ice. Like my feet barely touch the foot pegs. Never mind like freaking the ground.
Yeah, it's a big bike. I mean, it's a really big bike.
It's a big bike and it's a fast bike. Like it's sick. It's awesome.
Nice. So we've been kind of talking about all day long. I mean, recapping 2015, but with you, I wanted to forget the recap of 2015. I wanted to look at 2016 Supercross. There's no sense in recapping Supercross at this point because we're only, I think, 26 days out from the opener.
I know.
Yeah.
I still haven't really done my homework on who's where and what team's going where and stuff, but, kind of touching base, like I think there was just another Supercross in the States, in Europe, not too long ago, and I mean, there's so many guys right now that I don't know anything about, and then there's a handful of guys who are out there, racing Geneva, racing the France round, and the one in Australia Supercross, and they're getting so much seat time and race seat time, so not just training at the test facility, but actually out there racing and competing. I think these guys are going to have such a huge advantage over the ones who I really don't know anything about them, and they're just like hanging out at the test track. I think these guys like Cooper Webb, Weston Pike, who is the Toyota rider there, motorcycle superstar guy. Anyways, his name is escaping me right now on a Yamaha. He just was the king of Geneva. Even Chad Reed. I mean, these guys are going to have a huge advantage over the ones who don't, are only testing and not racing. Like, I find that that race experience kind of gets your butt back into that whole competitiveness and pushing yourself. And I think they're just going to have a huge jump out of the gate from the rest of everybody else. Justin Brayton, that's who it is. King of Geneva. I think Justin he is such a talented Supercross rider, and he's come out of the gate swinging like the last 2 years, and he's one of the only guys who I've seen out there battling in the 450 class alongside Weston Pike, and I think those two are going to have a huge lead.
Well, and that being said, I know you mentioned Chad Reed. I know he's going to be in the gate at Anaheim, but we still don't know what the heck team he's going to be with. And, I mean, I've looked at every website, and nobody has any idea what his plans are. All we know is he's going to be there.
Yeah, no, and again, that's the thing. A lot of people keep it under wraps on that last week where, they do all the press and all the photos and stuff, and it's like, boom, in your face. They talk about new riders, new teams, and switches and change-ups, and, then we learn a lot about the privateer team. So that's kind of what I like about Anaheim. It's a lot of, closed doors, hush-hush, very top-secretive stuff, and that's what also makes Anaheim so exciting is it's anybody's game, it's anybody's race. It's a new year. It's, January 4th or 6th of 2016. It's like, who has been putting in the work in this very short off season to be the king of 2016? Basically, I mean, it's really exciting. I love it. A1 is just such a game changer. It can be such a game changer for one lucky rider. Remember Millsap's there? Like no one expected him to win, and he came out at A1 and just killed everybody. Yeah. Well, and
from what I'm hearing, it's 100%. Almost certain that Stewart will be in the gate at Anaheim.
Yeah, but I almost think it's 100% certain that he probably won't finish the race.
Well, yeah.
That's terrible, but that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. So whatever his injury is, supposedly he's, I don't know. At this point, I was reading, it's like 100% certain he said, I will be there. So, whether he's fully healed or not, he's game on, I guess. So. Yeah,
all right. Well, I believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of faith in him until he showed up to Monster Cup, fell over, didn't finish. I had a lot of faith in him after Straight Rhythm, and he was so dominant and almost like we said, like a step above the rest. But the last two Supercrosses that he did, Monster Cup and then in Europe, it was like the same old James Stewart that we're used to seeing year after year.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. Like, he's still got the talent to win. I honestly, I don't know. I think the only given is Dungey's going to be Mr. Consistent.
The heart.
Yeah.
Honestly, he has the talent, but does he have that heart? We see riders. Jeffrey Hurling's broken fingers. I saw this post on Instagram. He broke 4 fingers, finished the race. There's so many guys who just kind of dig deep and put it all together and just make it happen. And, that's ultimately what it takes to be a champion. But there we see James Stewart falls over in Monster Cup, doesn't even bother to do the last two heats. I just think that's kind of lame, to be honest. I don't know. That's not the James Stewart that I would like to see who's going to win the championship. I don't know if his heart's in it.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's... I don't know. Supercross, I think, like I tried to say earlier, I think the only given is Dungey's going to be uber consistent and right there at the end. Roxon, I think he's going to challenge for it. Davey, he's on a new team. Millsaps, he's got the talent. Are we going to see him bounce back? Gosh, you got what do we got?
450s, honestly, I think that Weston Pike and Justin Brayton are going to be these dark horses. They've always been the bridesmaid and not the bride, if you will. But I guess you'd call it the best man and not the groomsman, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the male terminology for that saying is, but I really think we're going to see something from these two guys. I really, really do.
Yeah, I'm excited. I like you said, you never know what the heck's going to happen in Anaheim. It kind of sets the tone for the whole year.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah. Other than that, I don't know. As we kind of wind things down here, it's been about a year now you've been doing radio. What's stood out from, for you this year? What's kind of some of your fun moments? I know we got some hella cool stuff happening in 2016.
Yeah, 2015 was awesome like always. Every year is cool. Jumping on full-time with you, hanging out at Terracross was cool. I was really bummed out I could only do one round, but it was a little bit last minute. So this year, now that I know for sure I'll be doing the 2016 Terracross series, I'll be able to actually book those days off of work ahead of time. But yeah, no, I mean, still hanging out with First Form crew, trying to get really, really fit. But in 2016, I just think we'll hopefully open some more doors with radio and announcing. And, you know, the sky is the limit. I never really know what I want to do. I used to always make a plan, okay? And then I would get a little bummed out if my plans never came into action or they were diverted or something. So now I've just learned to sit back and enjoy the ride. Honestly, I feel like if you make too scheduled of plans and, you know, everything has to be this way or that way, like, you just lose sight of, like, what life is really about, and that's just the ride. I mean, I want to do everything. I want to do it all. I'm not going to put a limit on it. The opportunities come as you make them, so you just always constantly got to be grinding and working hard and being dedicated, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, well, I think that's the truth. I mean, you know, I've got a somewhat plan of what 2016 is going to look like, but I look at the start of 2015 and what I thought was going to happen, and I look at the end of 2015 and what I thought was going to happen, and it's been drastically different. So, you know, I think you're right. You know, biggest advice I can give to anybody, every time you're at an event, if you're a racer, you know, we got a lot of fans tuning in. We got some people, younger kids that are trying to make it, tune in and stuff like that. Shake everybody's hand, get to know everybody's name, because you never know what door is going to open.
No. And again, you know, if you find yourself that the doors aren't opening for you, that, you know, sometimes you just got to kick them down yourself. And persistence is key in this industry, and being optimistic and positive, and, you know what, just about going out and making your own opportunities. No one's going to hand you anything. Like, if you want something, go and freaking get it yourself. Like, you have the ability. And that's what I've always kind of thought is, like, you know, being Canadian, it's hard to make things happen. So instead of waiting around for it, I just figured out, why not? I'll just do it by myself.
That's it. That's kind of me, you know. Make stuff happen on your own if it's not happening, you know, organically. So. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. So other than that, what's the holidays bringing for you?
Hanging out, lots of chilling with family. Like I said, I just got my shop. Finally, it's been a whole year, and I finally got my shop available to me now. The old homeowner has built his new, like, 10-car freaking showroom shop, and now it's all mine. And I'm actually going to have a house party on Friday to celebrate.
God, I'm disappointed. I didn't get an invite to that. What the heck,
Actually,
Hood?
I'm having a shop party. Well, you can come down. Why not? Bring the daughter. We'll have a good old time.
Oh, she'd love it. So, all righty. Well, we got to wrap stuff up, I guess, for 2015, and I guess we'll see you on air in 2016. We got some. I was hoping to have some huge mega announcements to announce today, and we're still in the contracting process, so they're going to have to wait. But definitely tell everybody to watch this space, and they may be hearing Ami Houde a little more next year than they did this year, right?
Sounds good. I'm all down for that.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Ami, and we'll talk soon.
Yes. Have a good holidays to everybody out there. Be safe. Be awesome. And, just have a good one. Happy 2016. Pretty soon.
All right. Thanks, Ami.
Yes.
All right. That was Ami Houde, just catching up with her. And, like we said, got some big announcements rolling out for the Down and Dirty radio show. And, sometimes contracts take longer than they should, and sometimes they go quicker than they should. You just never know when you get into these things. But it's better to be safe and dot your I's and cross your T's than it is to jump in with both feet and not know what you're getting into. So definitely over the holiday season, watch my social media, watch the website. We do have some very big announcements coming up that I've kind of been biting my tongue on and really want to share with you guys, but just haven't had a chance to yet. So, there you go. But like I said, Robby Gordon, we will be doing that interview later on today. Hit up downanddirtyshow.com. Same link you got to. I'll put them both in the same webpage. Same link. You can snag them there at downanddirtyshow.com and listen in. It's definitely going to be worth the while. For sure, we'll be talking all things 2016 Dakar Rally with Robby Gordon. And, honestly, I just want to, take a minute to thank all you fans. This is, the end of year number 4, going to be starting up year number 5 of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, I guess our next episode. And, it's been one heck of a roller coaster ride. But a lot of you listeners have been here since day one. Some of you, haven't been there since day one, started midway, just bring it in. I love each and every one of you, social media followers, the people that have started tuning in because of Amy. I love hearing from the fans. Tweet me. Drop me a line on the website, shoot me a message on Facebook, direct message on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. I love hearing from the fans. I love hearing from you guys. It's a fan-driven show, and and there truly is some remarkable things going to happen to start off 2016. And I'm looking forward to sharing them with you fans. Some of them you guys have been asking for a long, long time, and they're finally coming to fruition. Sometimes things take a little bit long, but, all good things come with time. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great holiday season, and be looking for that Robby Gordon interview. Got to give a big shout-out to all our partners and supporters in the show. Polaris Razor, General Tire, Rigid, Dirtfish, UPR.com, Blue Water Resort and Casino, JMR Brakes, KMC Wheels, Parker Motor Company, MTX Audio. Follow me at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.com/Down and Dirty Show, at Ami Houde 71's her social. And have a great Merry Christmas. And as always, game on.